This is from Bloomberg Business. It says California's Newsom sets himself up as a foil to Musk and Trump. Gavin Newsom is positioning California as a foil to Donald Trump's policies, laying the groundwork for, you guessed it, resistance on everything from deportations to regulation rollbacks. Sounds familiar? On Monday, the Democrat governor delivered a plan that squarely touches on Musk's Tesla Incorporated, a rebate for electric vehicle buyers if the president-elect repeals a federal subsidy. In July, as his shift into Republican politics deepened, he announced that his company's X and Space, this is talking about Elon, his company's X and SpaceX would leave the state for Texas, saying the final straw was a new law signed by Gavin Newsom that bans school districts from requiring teachers to notify parents of changes to a student's gender identity. Yet just last year, Musk and Newsom struck a cooperative tone by announcing a Tesla global engineering headquarters in Palo Alto. The car company also maintains a huge presence with a factory in Fremont, a point Musk made in an X post on Monday, calling Newsom's policy insane. Newsom, who's widely seen as having presidential ambitions, is stepping up potential roadblocks to the Trump administration. In a statement Monday, Newsom said California would be doubling down on its commitment to clean air and green jobs. Quote, "We're not turning back on a clean transportation future. We're going to make it more affordable for people to drive vehicles that don't pollute." Details of the EV proposal, including Tesla's possible emission from the credits, will be negotiated with the state legislature and could change. Ro Khanna, a Democrat congressman whose district includes Fremont, said it would be foolish to exclude Tesla. He said, "Let's not play politics with keeping manufacturing in California." He said on X, "Have we learned nothing from snubbing Elon Musk at the Biden EV summit?" So there you have it. The line in the sand that Newsom is drawing is EVs. And it's pretty apparent why he's doing just EVs and excluding Musk. It's purely political, has nothing to really do with his goal for climate change. It's just he saw an opportunity to go after Musk, and he's going after it. What are your thoughts?
Right. Like, this isn't a moral decision on Gavin's part of, I believe that EVs are the wave of the future, and we need to incentivize all of you to drive them. And so go pick your favorite and we'll help you out. No, it's like, but not that one. Nope. Not like, and I read a tweet and I didn't like check the accuracy of this, but it said something about Tesla in California employs 20,000 people. And therefore, like, sending them off, like trying, because this is obviously an effort to like shut him out, shut him down and all that. And so to do that, to like basically force Tesla to leave California, a lot of jobs would go away. And we are already like, I think, the highest unemployment in the country. And you've probably seen the headlines that all the new jobs that were added in California in the last, few years were actually like 95% government and health jobs. There's not like new jobs to be created. So this is just adding to the problem. And I know you have a Newsom video that you're going to play, and he talks about how he's like, I'm a governor for all, regardless of your religion, your race, who you voted for. Like, he's like, tries to be like, I'm for you, for you, for you. No, you're not. You're very clearly against anybody who aligns himself with Trump, voted for Trump, believes in what Trump's going to do, Republicans, whatever. Like, you want to make sure that we're not supporting, I guess Elon's a Republican now. I don't even know if that's official, but we're, anyone that's aligned with Trump, we're not supporting. They basically a stance.
I was talking about at work today. Full disclosure, I am a new owner of what we call now a MAGA-mobile. We went out and supported Musk in getting our own Tesla. It's amazing. Highly recommend it. Go take a test drive. We are not sponsored by Tesla. We've name dropped way too many products in this show already.
Hey, I have teenage drivers on. Let's look and sponsor me.
Yeah, super safe. They got a bajillion cameras on them. I was talking to a buddy at work about it today, and he's like, "Oh, did you hear about what Newsom wants to do with Tesla and the EV credits?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's a bunch of nerdy lawyers." We're sitting there going, "How do you even do that?" Like, this is lawyers standing there going, "I don't even know how you can legally draft legislation that creates credits for EVs, for electric vehicles, but excludes one company." Like, because you can't just go like, we're going to give it away to everybody, all the EVs, but not Tesla. Like, you can't just say, but not Tesla. You have to come up with like configurations or something that would make Tesla cars outside of that exemption. It'd be incredibly hard, if not already prone to a lawsuit by Tesla, which I imagine Tesla is like licking their chops, like ready to sue
I'm
once they figure
sure.
this out.
Sure. I'm not a lawyer, but my husband and I had that exact discussion today. And
Yeah,
so I appreciate that you are all also stumped of like, how can you even get away with this?
I don't even know how, like, for lawyers to sit there and go, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you draft legislation to do that. It's going to be a lawsuit, because you can't just pick one company that you're going to target when everyone else is included. So I was reading that Tesla is actually 55% of all registered EVs in California. So it's clearly the majority of EVs in California are Teslas. So to restrict or to exclude the biggest EV seller in California is really, it is playing politics. Like Ro Khanna, who is a Democrat, who I think he sees the writing on the wall that his district in Fremont went red. I believe it was one of those counties that went red for Trump. He sees the writing on the wall and he goes, whoa, 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 hold on. Let's not get crazy here. I don't want to lose 20,000 jobs, because Musk will do it. If you threaten Musk, and like we've seen it before, he'll just pick up and just go, okay, we're moving everything to Texas. And that's 20,000 jobs right out the window. So he obviously sees the writing on the wall of like, let's not play politics here. Like, let's be a little careful. You know, you want to support EVs. Like, if you want to, if clearly your want for climate, your want to tackle climate control or climate change is not above politics. So it's like, which goal is more important? Obviously, if it was climate change and you think it's the most what am I trying to say? I can't speak tonight.
It's
Existential crisis.
Yes.
It's the most existential crisis to our entire world, to our country, to California. If it's the existential crisis, then it should be up here, right? Like, climate change should be up here. It shouldn't worry about politics and who you don't like. That's the most important thing.
Right.
But if you're going, well, I want to tackle climate change, but I also want to stick it to Elon Musk because he supported Trump, then you're not really serious about climate change and EVs. Right. You're just doing it for politics.
Not the point of today's podcast whatsoever, but I think a lot of us have questioned, how much do they really care about climate change versus actually just controlling? Like,
yeah,
I believe climate change is just a money laundering scheme.
Yeah, I would agree with the sense of like, they have taken climate change to be the cudgel that you can bang over the people's head and say, like, we have to do this for climate change, and you can be an alarmist about it. And they've used it for every excuse in the book to like just grow government and just continue to regulate, especially here in California, just regulate every aspect of your life. Not to say you can't be in favor of environmentalism. I mean, obviously Elon Musk is in favor of protecting the environment. You know, RFK's in favor of, and they're both in the Trump administration. But when you start to use it as a cudgel and like just hammering people over the head with it, then climate change has become political, and it's not really about caring about climate change. I'm sure we could do a whole episode on that.
I all want Newsom to do this. Like, I don't want to hurt California. I don't want people to lose their jobs, but we don't want Newsom to have any chance come 2028. And if it's like he did this and Tesla left and all these jobs left, and other electric vehicle companies maybe couldn't keep up with the production necessary and all this stuff, then it was like he shot his own foot, And so I would kind of love to see that happen. And my husband pointed out today, Elon Musk is kind of like the bench between Democrats and Republicans, because Democrats they're usually the loudest voices about climate change. And, we need these electric vehicles. And Tesla really paved the way for a bunch of that. And then yet now here he is. They're calling him Trump's buddy. Is that his title now is, and it's like Democrats are on board, or were on board with Tesla. And and now Republicans are like, hey, I like Elon. I like what he's doing. Maybe I'm interested in this too. And I want a Tesla. You got one. And, it's like, it's this bench. And yet Gavin, who wants to pretend like he is this bench between them and he's for everybody, but he's like, nope, let's see how we can screw Tesla and Elon over.
Yeah, they on the episode of Joe Rogan where Elon was the guest, it was like I think the day before the election, which is why Joe Rogan's endorsement came in late, was because he talked to Elon on that show and he was changed his mind. They talked about this specific point where Joe Rogan goes, it's crazy how people, because he was in LA for a long time, and he said people in LA thought it was like a big virtue signal thing to be like, oh, I have a Tesla and I care about the environment and I'm so forward thinking and look at how progressive I am and look at how cool this car is. And it became like a status symbol of like how much you cared about climate change. And it became like it was more than just a car. That was you virtue signaling to everybody in California. I'm such a good person because I have a Tesla, because I just drive on EV. I don't use gasoline. I'm such a good person. And, my wife and I kind of laugh about this now, how many people bought Teslas that are driving around now in California with them. And they bought them back when Elon Musk was like, he was on their side and they bought it as the virtue signal. And now that he fully supports Trump, now they have to drive around in like a MAGA mobile, which is kind of makes me laugh that they have to think about every time they get in their Tesla, like they just sit there and they get mad. Like,
Yeah, remember when they were kind of new on the road and it was like a big deal to see a Tesla? Like it
yeah,
was
now
that,
they're everywhere. Like there's so
yeah.
many everywhere. It's like the car that you see everywhere. Hey, thanks for checking out the California Underground podcast. If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you subscribe, like, share, review, comment, all that stuff that helps with the algorithm, helps people find us more. And if you want to learn more, you can always listen to our full podcast at Apple, Spotify, Google, all those different places that you basically find podcasts. Or if you just want to keep watching clips, you can check out clips here, or you can subscribe to our channel right here, somewhere in here.